This podcast was produced by Shaun Weston Media.
From a dimly lit cupboard somewhere in England, two people chat about communications and sometimes they chat about other things. Welcome to From the Comms Cupboard. In your experience, is it difficult to find a job as a comms professional these days? Let me answer my own question.
I'll go home then.
Recently, I think you mentioned in one of our episodes that you fell into the job.
I did.
Is that how most people find comms, or is it different these days?
I think I did say in that episode when I was at school, I would never have known it was a career or a job. So maybe they do. Maybe that's the listeners to tell us, did they fall into it or did they set out to go for this high-flying communications role?
Write in, please. But I suppose for the benefit of this episode, let's pretend we're already in comms and we want another job in comms somewhere else. Is it hard to find that job?
One of the things I feel like I've noticed is actually the jobs have less clarity maybe than they had before, because I think communications, as we've sort of discussed on all these different podcasts that we've done, there's lots of different types of communications roles, ranging from internal comms to media relations to event management, all these different things that people do under that banner. And I think one of the big changes is that people expect you to be a bit of a jack of all trades. Sometimes it feels like there's less wanting a single professional that's incredible at their job. You look at that job description and this is 8 jobs.
Yeah,
that seems to be something I see a little bit now.
It's unfair.
I think you see that more in, I think, certainly in internal comms, I guess, because that's where I am. They want you to be a videographer, they want you to be a podcaster, they want you to be a designer, they want you to have all different sorts of skills. You want to be an incredible writer, you need to manage events, which is fantastic.
But they're all separate professions.
They are all separate professions. So I think my one thing would be to say, you kind of have to know a little bit about how to do different things. So is it tough to get a job in comms? I think it is, because maybe you can go into an interview now, you can only do half of what they're actually asking of that job. But they might not want you to do all those things anyway.
That's true, but it's a shame if you were someone that went to the job interview and you've had 20 years experience. You may be 40-something. You think, yeah, I'm pretty good, I probably nail this job. And you get there and you find that they give it to someone because they know how to use Final Cut Pro or Adobe Audition. And they gave it to them based on the fact that they know how to use that bit of software.
Yeah.
Because they want the jack of all trades, and they miss out on that person who's got 20 years experience of actually making your business better in terms of communications. That's a shame.
But is there a shout out to say, as a professional of anything now, you really do need to keep learning and keep understanding the different aspects? Because I would say communications, one of the professions that's most impacted by technology and the move to digital. And if you think being a communicator is just about being a good writer, I'm a fantastic writer, I'm a storyteller, which is super important.
But they're only facets of a larger picture of you as a communicator.
Because you kind of need to know how other people want to take it. You might be fantastic at writing a newsletter or a company magazine, but maybe those things don't exist anymore.
Do you think we're valued enough as internal communications professionals? Do you think we're valued enough by the business to be able to differentiate ourselves from someone with only 2 years experience?
Yeah, I do think, and I think internal comms as a profession is certainly growing in stature within organisations, and I think you are seeing more heads of internal comms and directors of internal comms that are sitting more at board level or working directly with senior managers. I think that is seen as a really important profession.
What changed?
Good question. I think maybe lots of people were having issues.
With engagement, with general communication?
I think a lot of things have changed. I guess we had maybe the professionalisation of internal comms, and I think a lot of people really leading the way and showing the value of internal comms, and also being able to manage it and show the impact it has for businesses. And I think that's probably what's changed. It's moved away from being something that's just seen as an administrative role into something that really is helping a business to grow and impact the bottom line as well.
Are more experienced people simply going to do the same things each time? or do these days you have to demonstrate your ability to learn, like you said, keeping in touch with new technologies? Is that more important these days?
I think it is. I think you've got to show that you're interested in it, even if you can't do it. Because, there are people who are super professional at those things as well. We have great videographers and designers, and all those people are great professions as well, and we should be using those people as well. Because internal comms people should be focusing on strategy and delivery of internal comms opposed to creation of content as well. So, but I think it is important that you know how to use those and the value of those things.
Not pretend.
Well. Yeah, but we all pretend at some point, don't we?
Well, speak for yourself. So, in terms of actual looking for the jobs then, with you probably rightly saying that businesses really see the value in internal communications now, has that made it so much more competitive out there?
Yeah, I think it is a very competitive market at the moment. I'd say one of the things you want to do then is be quite open about what you can't do as well. So by hiring me, you're not getting a videographer, but you are getting someone who's really good. And I think it goes back to your point about someone who's got 20 years of experience. They need to articulate the way that will help an organisation. But be open that you can't do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually you tell them, because sometimes people don't know what they're looking for. That's why you see those job adverts with all this massive array of bullet points of things that they want you to do, because they don't really know what they're looking for.
No.
So I think if you've got the experience, you need to show how that will help their business, opposed to, oh, sorry, I can't use Final Cut Pro.
Yeah. And don't blag it. Those interviews where people blag that they know something, and then you come undone within the first 3 months. If you manage to make it through your, what do they call it? The probation period. If you manage to make it through that, you've done really well. But it also means that whoever was looking after you for your probation period really didn't test you on the things you said you knew.
Yeah.
You'll get found out. You will get found out.
God, that was spooky. It felt like
myself.